everybody, this is the Sliders Review. I'm here today to talk about Black History Month. The month that is a celebration of my people, because I am a black man and everything. And it's about all our accomplishments, all the oppression that we have gone through over like centuries of living in like America and stuff like that. And even till this day, we are still being oppressed. And so I'm here today to talk to you about certain characters or TV shows or episodes that revolve around Black History Month that I personally enjoy. So I'm here today to talk to you about Ultimate Spider-Man Season 4, Episode 3, Miles from Home. So this is a Miles Morales Spider-Man episode. In fact, this is his second appearance. He first showed up in the Ultimate Spider-Man Spider-Verse saga, voiced by Donald Glover. But then in his second appearance, he is now voiced by the Luke Cage voice actor for this show. How you say his name? Ogie Banks. So in this episode, we see Miles Morales in his Ultimate Spider-Verse universe. And he's fighting the Green Goblin. And of course, in the Ultimate Spider-Man series, the Green Goblin is just a mutated goblin. And who shoots like fireballs from like his hands. And he has these giant wings and a tail and stuff like that. So, he's fighting Miles. And, you know, those two are just like going at it. And some banter here and there. And then all of a sudden, the Green Goblin disappears into like a vortex type thing. Miles is just kind of confused, but kind of like just whatever, you know? And so then we get like Peter Parker Spider-Man. You know, I never understood why this was called Ultimate Spider-Man if it had Peter Parker in it and they didn't transition it to Miles. But you know how Marvel is. They're too afraid of replacing Peter Parker with the Black Spider-Man because people will riot against the machine and stuff. I mean, they had the perfect opportunity in the MCU when they killed off Peter in Infinity Saga. No, the Infinity War movie. Because then in Endgame, well, 5 years past, Miles could have took up the mantle. But no, they couldn't do that and stuff. So anyways, oh, by the way, I hate it when Spider-Man breaks the fourth wall in this series. It's so annoying and everything. I remember when this show first, like the trailer first came out, I was like, man, that's some good animation right there. Then I watched the first episode and I'm just like, ah, God, it's like Teen Titans, but worse. At least Teen Titans was cool, you know, but anyway, so then we get our Peter Parker, Spider-Man. And he's swinging around until he sees Doc Ock and Baron Mordo. Man, they really screwed up Dr. Octopus and this. That man went through the ringer in this series, boy. Let me tell you. So basically his body is pretty much gone and he's just basically like a torso and stuff now. In this type of octopus type like machine. And so they have some ancient artifact. I think it's the something perilous or something like that. It's a magical artifact that like can open up vortexes, wormholes into other dimensions. And so at some point Doctor Strange shows up. A very shaggy haired Doctor Strange. And who do they bring through? The Green Goblin from the Ultimate Universe. Why? Because since he's the only person to ever kill a Spider-Man, they want him to kill this one because Spider-Man is interfering in Hydra's plans way too much and they need him to stop. One little teenage spider they can't get rid of, boy, I tell you. So he tries to fight, like, you know, the Green Goblin, all this and that, as Doctor Strange is trying to, like, close the portal and send him back through, but then something interfering with that, he's throwing off the natural balance. So Peter decides that, you know, since Spider-Man is throwing off the natural balance along with the Green Goblin, then it must be Miles. So he goes to, in the portal to go get Miles. And so at some point he finds him. Miles is at his house with his mom. About to have, I think, it's her birthday. And his dad is already has passed, the police officer. So Spider-Man shows up. And, you know, they chat a little bit, talking about how he needs his help. Talking about how the Green Goblin is over in his universe. And then so that Miles is kind of like, you know, oh, so that's where that dude went. And so Miles, of course, is happy to help Peter and everything because they're like buds and stuff. And he tells his mom he'll be back. So they hopscotch to the other dimension, and they both take on the Green Goblin. And so, like, and they also try, and then as Strange, he's having a hard time keeping the portal open. He needs to hurry up and close it. So he's, of course, is fighting um Morto and everything. And I think Octopus Dude is trying to fight everybody. So anyway, this Green Goblin is very pissy. He doesn't like taking orders, and he has no boss. So he's basically just like, yo, anybody come at me, I'm a wail on you and stuff. Miles is trying to do his best with his like stinger blast and stuff, and Peter's trying to like do his best to get the artifact to help Strange close it and stuff. But the Green Goblin gets a hold of it, and all of a sudden, every time the Green Goblin now punches something, he's ripping holes in reality, and he's ripping several holes and stuff, and he's liking this new power. And so basically, he wants to take over the multiverse. So at some point, Peter can see the reality rip open in a spiderwebby like type form, and he's seeing the other Spider-Man that he's met before and some new ones. One that's like some type of mechanized robot. And so him and Miles are just constantly doing their best to like stop this dude. But Miles does the ultimate sacrifice. He is trying to like destroy the device that is causing the Goblin to rip holes into reality, knowing he will be trapped there and stuff. But a hero has to do what a hero has to do, and he makes that sacrifice. And so after doing that, Strange opens up a portal trying to send Miles back home, but then realizes he can't. Miles can only see his mother through the portal, and there's like a barrier and stuff. And so he tells his mom you know, one day I will make it back to you, but now I can't. It's strange. He lost his dad. He's in a new reality where people he don't know suffer Spider-Man. He loves his mom to death. You think it'll be more emotional, like him, like, you know, upset that he can't be with his mom on her birthday and be with her. But now he's just kind of like, whatever. He's just like all like, you know, a hero gotta do what a hero gotta do. And the moms are like, oh yeah, I totally understand. And it's just like, nah, man, this should have been a big emotional moment and stuff. So after that, Spider-Man takes him to the hideout with him and the Web Warriors and the other people are at, and the other Spider-Man. And so after introducing Miles to everybody, there's some banter back and forth as to who gets to take the name Spider-Man. So they all agree it should be Miles and not Peter and stuff. And so, like, but of course, he does end up changing his name. Miles ends up taking the name Kid Arachnid and stuff. And he stays for the rest of the series until I believe he does go home in the end. I have to say, when they did the whole Spider-Verse thing in here, that's when I started liking this show and I actually started watching it weekly. I could not stand this show before. And it was cool seeing all the Spider-Man. And you know, it was also cool to finally now have Miles in the show, because this is technically the Ultimate Spider-Man show, which is supposed to be the Ultimate Universe, but they changed it just to keep their golden boy. Don't get me wrong, I love myself some Peter Parker, but when you treat the other Spider-Man wrong, who this should have been his show, that's totally messed up. And they could have had all kinds of different ways to bring him in and to keep him as the Ultimate Spider-Man, just like they did in the comics and stuff. It's like, it's weird. The MCU act like they're so afraid of bringing Miles into the fold. And, you know, and the cool thing is Miles is a really cool Spider-Man. He has a great costume. He has cooler powers than Peter. He can, like, sting people. He can go invisible. And, you know, he does, like I said before, what a hero has to do. Save people no matter what the sacrifice is. He left his home reality. He left his mom. He left his city defenseless and everything. You gotta remember, he is the Spider-Man of that universe. And he did it just to help out other people. He had no idea who they were. And, you know, Marvel should really treat this dude better than what they do in the comics. In the comics, they treat him pretty well. But every place else, not really. It's like they always have to have Peter Parker alongside with him, not to have fans scream, "Whoa!" or "We're being replaced," and all that other crap. But they know the gist of what this dude was in the comics, so they shouldn't be like screaming and rioting and everything. And I mean, look at Into the Spider-Verse. They couldn't even give him his own solo movie. They had to bring in other Spider-Men and the Spider-Woman and stuff and keep Peter around. And it's almost like they have no faith in this dude. And they should, because the dude has a legion of followers. First, people started hating him, but then they saw how cool he was, and then people started loving him. But now, since so many crazy, angry, white little dudes are hopping on the internet screaming woke and being replaced, now they have fears of wanting to bring this dude full circle again. And so now they have to take like baby steps with him and always partner him with like a white Spider-Man or something like that. And it's just like, take a chance, see what happens, and see if people like it. Because as good as Into the Spider-Verse was, there was no need to have all those other like heroes alongside of him. Happy Black History Month, everybody. I'll talk to you later. Bye.